What industries or companies do you believe should be targeted for unionization under EFCA? And will card checks survive in the final bill?
First of all, I think every workshop ought to have a union in it, because I believe better decisions are made when you sit down at the table as equal. And I'll give you a classic example of that. When my son was 5 years old, he would come up to me and say, "Dad, I want to do this." And I'd say, "No." That's it. It was no. He didn't have any kind of leverage or any kind of bargaining power with me. He couldn't go to any higher authority. I guess he could. It was no. He had no bargaining power. Well, then 2 minutes later, my wife comes up to me. And my wife says, "I want to get a new car." And I say, "Let's sit down and talk about this." It was a whole different process because we came to the table with different leverage. She and I came with almost the same bargaining power. I probably was still on the short end of that one, but he had no bargaining power. And that's what a union does. I mean, one worker against an employer, it doesn't matter how right you are or how righteous you are. You have no ability to do anything. But no matter what the group is, if you have people are sitting down and they're working, first of all, we can work together more effectively. We can create partnerships where we really do take on who I consider to be the people where the opponents that we have to beat. And second of all, better decisions get made. Or you can look at it a different way. You could try to legislate every issue so that every health and safety issue could get legislated. Now, that would be a real mess, wouldn't it? Because you couldn't create a one-size-fits-all in every place. Collective bargaining allows everybody to tailor every decision or every problem they have for the best for those two parties. And so it's a great solution, and I think it ought to be in every industry and in every workplace.
Would you be willing to accept a compromise that drops card check but maintains binding arbitration?
If the person that asked the question has the power to do that, come on up, and I'll bargain with you. Elsewise, I make it a habit of not bargaining in public.
Thanks to the hold on TSA Director nominee Errol Southern, labor relations has been inserted into the controversy over the Detroit airplane bombing scare. How would allowing TSA workers to bargain collectively affect security?
Well, if you listen to Senator DeMint, it would have an adverse effect on security. But I make the case that his hold on having a leader for TSA is actually lessening security in this country, because they have an interim leader. They have an interim leader, but they don't have a leader for TSA, and I think that has an adverse effect. Now, let's see if I get the logic right. The pilot can be in a union, and they are. The flight attendants can be in a union, and they are. The mechanics and all the ground personnel can be in a union, that they are. But the people who checks them, somehow, if they're in a union, somehow that adversely affects national security. I just don't get the logic of it. I think if they were in a union, they would have better security in this country. Go and talk to them. When you go through, talk to them. They're overworked. There are too few of them around. We would at least be able to say this is what's necessary for real security at the airports, and we're going to bring a union to every one of those TSA people, and we're going to bring more security to those TSA work sites.
Will you actively oppose the health bill if the Senate-favored tax is in there?
We are working diligently. We've been working for decades right now to try to get a health care bill passed in this country for decades. And we're not about to stop now. I'm not about to speculate on what's going to be in that bill or what's not going to be in the bill. The Senate bill, from our point of view, is inadequate. It does not deserve the support of working men and women. But we are a long ways from the finish line yet, and we're going to try to get a bill that does, should and will garner the support of working people in this country, because bringing health care to every citizen out there is too important for us to get this close and then say we quit.
Okay, we are almost out of time, but before I ask the last question, we have a couple of important matters to take care of. First of all, let me remind our members of future speakers. On March 5th, the Honorable Mitt Romney, former governor of Massachusetts, will be here. And on April 12th, Dennis Quaid, the actor, will discuss the prevention of potentially deadly medical errors. Second, I would like to present our guests with the traditional and much coveted NPC mug. You're welcome. But we're only going to give you a half a cup of coffee because your speech went over 25 minutes.
If you'd have gave me a full cup of coffee, it would have gone an hour.
Okay, so you're meeting with the president this afternoon. What will you be telling him?
We'll be talking about the weather, about this weekend's football games, about who we think's going to win the Super Bowl, health care, and a couple of other things. We'll be talking about health care.
What's your message to him? What's the one thing you want him to come away from that meeting with?
We're going to talk to the president as a friendly, it's a meeting among friends, trying to solve problems. And I'm not going to go into what we're going to talk about. We'll talk about trying to solve problems.
Okay, I'd like to thank you for coming today. I appreciate it. Really? I'd also like to thank Nat'l Press Club staff members Melinda Cook, Pat Nelson, Joanne Booz for organizing today's lunch. Also, thanks to the NPC Library for its research. The video archive of today's luncheon is provided by the Nat'l Press Club's Broadcast Operations Center. Our events are available for free download on iTunes as well as on our website, and non-members may purchase transcripts, audio, and videotapes by calling 202-662-7598 or emailing us at archives@press.org. For more information about the Nat'l Press Club, please go to our website at www.press.org. I thank you, and we are adjourned.
Sorry, I apologize. No one told me.
What is this, Cuba?
Should I be my people? Who did you speak to? Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it, buddy. Sure.
You have a good time today, Bob?